Hey Megan, I think everybody is in right now. I'm sure we'll have some more and I'll admit them as they come, but I think everybody that was waiting initially, they're all in.
Perfect. Well, thank you for attending the workshop. Really enjoyed putting together some different ideas for making over some of those common assignments that you find within iCEV's projects, but then also just kind of in general on any of the lessons that you're using. So I know that Clayton was going to kind of look at some of the questions that you all had about the presentation. And I know one of them that I saw when I was over there was, how are you going to get the slides? And so we're going to link the slides to this page after this workshop, and then those will also be available on the CTE Inspired page. So you will have access to all of that information that we put together on those slides. So you'll definitely have that slide deck. But Clayton, were there other questions?
There were. So yes, that was the overwhelming majority. So yes, we will give you access to that. I think that's awesome that everybody loves those ideas. And so we're happy to share those with you. Question was, let me find it here. Any ideas for the special population students?
So on iCEV, if you go in and add a course, there's going to be a special population strategies icon that appears on that course. And what that icon will lead you to is our special populations document. And there's going to be just generic strategies that you can use and apply to any project, whether that's something that is in the presentation we just showed or already included within the curriculum. So checking out that special population strategies document would be my suggestion for that, on being able to add some either extensions, modifications, or accommodations to any of those projects.
We did have a session on that as well that aired earlier. And so all of these are recorded and you'll be able to go watch that afterwards on our platform. So that's another session that was just totally devoted to teaching special populations utilizing iCEV, and it was a panel. So it would encourage you to go back and watch that as well. All right, so let's go back to the questions. We'll see here. Are these included in current lessons?
So currently, these are just kind of some of the new ideas that we've came up with to use for projects, and they will start popping up in some of the lessons that you've got. But what I really wanted to be able to do with this presentation was show you how, if in a current lesson that you're using, there is a research paper, well, you could use kind of the basis of, for instance, if you were, let's say, you're teaching a culinary course and you're researching different famous chefs. Well, instead of writing a paper on that chef, which might be what the project is within that particular lesson, you could just kind of take it and flip it into one of these other research paper type ideas. So they could do an annotated bibliography, or they could do a podcast. They might even act that out as the famous chef doing a podcast or something like that. So while they're not included in current lessons, you can use these to flip those projects and activities that are included.
Next question, how do you adapt these lessons, or maybe not lessons, but these projects ideas? How could you adapt those for a virtual learning setting that students might be encountering this fall?
So I think one of the big ways, and a lot of the different ideas that I shared, were to use collaborative software, whether that's Google Slides, Google Docs, or if you're a Microsoft person, you can be using OneDrive. And if you have Microsoft 365, they can actually collaborate on that. So making sure that the programs that you're having students create files in are where they can actually all go in and work on it together. Other things, obviously Zoom is a great way to get people connected, but I know a lot of teachers are using Google Meet. Microsoft Teams is another option that we've heard. So really just making sure that you're using those different technologies that you're already doing when you're getting in contact with your students, whether that's through virtual lectures or just doing check-ins. Students can do those with each other as well. So just using those collaborative softwares.
This is a duplicate question, I think, but maybe just address again. So somebody did comment, I wanted to see the special population session, but it was the same time as this one. So I guess just maybe reiterate that they can watch these again, right?
Yes, definitely. So you will have access to all of the sessions at the CTE Inspired conference because we are recording them, and those will be made available to you after the conference so that you can actually go back in and watch them all as many times as you want.
That's kind of the bulk of the questions in terms of, again, the main one was how do you get the slide deck that Megan put together, and we're going to post that for you guys. You'll have access to that. One thing that I thought might be good to share, Megan, is the blog that all of our writers have put together, and that way everybody on this call will know that we'll be sharing more of these type of ideas.
So as a brand management group, which is what houses our curriculum development team, we've actually created, and it's called just From the Writers Room. So anyone who's one of our curriculum writers contributes to this. And we have a blog that we post project ideas. We also post updates in terms of kind of what's coming soon with curriculum, different pedagogy ideas. Recently, I say recently, I think it's been a couple of months now, but time seems to have a whole new speed these days. We did a series of projects that you could implement through distance learning that were just some ideas that teachers could use. And so really keeping up with the blog, and then if you follow us on social, anything that has the hashtag From the Writers Room is going to be coming directly from the curriculum developers at iCEV. And we try to do things like this particular workshop where we made over projects or offer ideas or different strategies. And we also love to get ideas from teachers on projects and activities and get your suggestions. I mentioned in an earlier workshop on our new lesson plan style that we've actually created. It's really based a lot on teacher suggestions. So we do value that feedback, and what y'all are seeing in the classroom, we really try to implement within our curriculum.
So that's kind of, again, the questions were mainly around how to get the slideshow, and then are the sessions going to be recorded? So I think we've answered all of those, unless somebody has another question that they'd like to put into the Zoom chat. But we do need to share that important code with them, right? So they can put that into the challenge.
And so the code for this session, just again, so that you have it for putting into the challenge tab, and then also for getting your PD credit for coming to this session, is MAKE019. So MAKE 019.
And I put that into the chat as well. So I think that's it for this session. We're glad that you joined us, and hopefully you're attending other sessions and enjoying those as well. For those of you that have joined late, yes, the slide deck that Megan put together will be available for you, so you will have access to that. And again, everything is being recorded, so if you had a couple of sessions that you wanted to attend, but they were back to back or right on top of each other, you can go back and watch those also. So Megan, you have anything to add before we log off?
I don't think so. Thank you all for attending the session, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you. Bye-bye.